And welcome back. Well, many times our nation's need for energy combats concerns for climate conservation. But our next guest says it doesn't have to be that way. Joining us now with details about a new oil and gas environmental partnership is Mike Sommers, President and CEO of the American Petroleum Institute. Hello to you, Mike.
Great to be with you today.
Thanks for joining us. You know, I'm really happy to hear this statistic, and it's that the EPA is reporting that emissions have gone down. So I want to know a little bit more about that, how this progress has been made, because I think that's really good news to all of us.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we know that the American consumer continues to demand, one, affordable energy, but two, they also want it produced in the most environmentally responsible way possible. The oil and gas industry is stepping up to the plate. And what we're seeing today is that our emissions are actually at 25-year lows. And that's at the same time where that production in the United States is only increasing. So we can meet both goals of environmental performance and meeting consumers' growing demand for more energy.
I think that's great news for all of us. It truly is. And I mentioned that there's this new partnership. It's the environmental partnership. This is between oil companies and natural gas, and they're coming together to do what?
So the environmental partnership is a program of the American Petroleum Institute. And what we've done is we've brought together producers of oil and natural gas. And what they're doing is they're sharing the best practices that they have about how to reduce methane emissions. Methane is a potent greenhouse gas, and what we're trying to do is to make sure that our emissions only go down. We just put out our first annual report on the environmental partnership, and what we're showing is exactly what the EPA is showing, is that emissions are going down, and it's because of this sharing of these best practices between big companies and small companies. It's a really historic accomplishment.
Well, good things happen when we work together and for a common goal and the common good, for sure. How does natural gas and oil benefit the consumer?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, consumers continue to demand that their energy is affordable and environmentally sustainable. What we're doing by working together is making sure that we can meet those joint goals. So while other consumer products and other household goods have increased in price over the course of the last 10 years, household energy costs have actually gone down 10.7% in that same time period. Imagine the economic conversation that we'd be having if energy prices were going up at the same level of healthcare or food or education. It's truly a great accomplishment, while at the same time we're driving emissions even lower.
Well, I like all of those answers. I think that they're coming together for greater good, like I mentioned. How does that efficient use, when it comes to these products you're talking about, help the environment and help, I guess, just human health in general?
Yeah, you know, we're really focused on making sure that the air is as clean as possible. And what's happened in this country over the last 10 years is we've seen this switch from coal as the primary power generation to natural gas. Natural gas is cleaner. And that's good for the American consumer. It's good for human health. And it's something that we're really focused on expanding in this country.
What if people want to get involved or they want to learn more or know more about how to join up to basically just help the environment? Are there ways to do that through the company you work with?
Yes, absolutely. So if your listeners and watchers are interested in more information, they can go to www.theenvironmentalpartnership.org to learn more about this great program. Or they can learn more about the oil and gas industry and what we're doing to improve our environmental performance at api.org.
That's great. Are there any last tips you want to give us in terms of us just being more environmentally friendly as consumers?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone needs to know about how focused we are on making sure that our environmental performance increases, because we know that consumers are demanding affordable energy, but they also want it produced in a sustainable way. And this industry is stepping up to the plate.
Love it. Thanks for joining us, Mike. We appreciate it.
Great to be with you.
And that website for more is api.org.